Mounting electrical junction boxes, or J-boxes, in straw bale walls with cob finishes requires careful consideration. The goal is to securely mount the boxes while maintaining the integrity of the wall and ensuring electrical safety. Several options exist, each with its own advantages. Firstly, let's explore recessed J-boxes. To install recessed J-boxes, begin by cutting a hole in the straw bale that matches the size of the J-box. Insert the J-box into the hole. Secure the J-box in place using wire mesh or screws. This ensures that the box remains stable within the wall. Once the J-box is secured, cover it with cob. Make sure the cob extends beyond the edge of the box to create a seamless transition with the surrounding wall. Smooth and finish the cob surface for a professional look. Secondly, consider surface-mounted J-boxes. There are a couple of methods to choose from. Method involves using L brackets. Attach L brackets to the J-box using screws. These brackets will provide a means of securing the box to the straw bale. Drill holes in the straw bale where the L brackets will be positioned. Insert screws into the holes to secure the J-box to the bale. Make sure the screws are long enough to provide a firm hold. Apply cob to the exposed areas of the L brackets. This will conceal the brackets and create a cohesive appearance. Smooth the surface to blend the cob with the surrounding wall. Method B involves using wire mesh. Wrap the J-box in wire mesh, leaving enough mesh to extend beyond the box. This mesh will serve as an anchor for the cob. Cut a hole in the straw bale to accommodate the J-box. Insert the J-box into the hole. Secure it to the bale by folding the wire mesh over the bale. This will hold the box in place. Apply cob to the wire mesh, ensuring it covers the J-box and extends beyond its edges. This will create a strong and durable connection. Thirdly, think about J-boxes that are embedded in cob. Mix a small batch of cob. Mold it around the J-box, leaving openings for the wires. Press the cob-covered J-box into the straw bale. This will create a secure and integrated installation. Smooth and finish the cob surface. This will blend the J-box seamlessly into the wall. In addition to these methods, there are several additional considerations to keep in mind. Use weather-resistant J-boxes to protect against moisture penetration. Straw bale walls can be susceptible to moisture, so it's important to use boxes that can withstand damp conditions. Ensure the wires are properly secured and protected within the J-boxes. This will prevent damage to the wires and reduce the risk of electrical hazards. Allow the cob to dry and cure thoroughly before installing electrical devices. This will ensure that the cob is strong and stable enough to support the devices. Consider using a vapor barrier behind the cob finish to prevent moisture from damaging the straw bales. This will help to extend the life of the wall. When working with electrical wiring, always follow proper safety procedures. Turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate tools and equipment. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult a qualified electrician. To further elaborate, selecting the right J-box is crucial. Beyond weather resistance, consider the box's volume. National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifies minimum box fill requirements based on the number and size of conductors, devices like switches or receptacles, and internal clamps. Refer to NEC Table 314.16 to determine the correct box size for your specific wiring configuration. Using an undersized box can lead to overheating and unsafe conditions. Furthermore, the choice of wiring method is important. For straw bale construction, consider using non-metallic sheath cable, commonly known as Romex. Secure the cable properly to the J-box using appropriate cable connectors. These connectors prevent strain on the conductors and maintain the integrity of the electrical system. Avoid using metal conduit directly against the straw bales, as condensation can form and lead to corrosion. If metal conduit is necessary, provide a suitable barrier to prevent direct contact. The topic of grounding is extremely important. Ensure that all metal J-boxes are properly grounded according to NEC section 250. This typically involves connecting a grounding conductor to the box using a grounding screw or clip. If using non-metallic J-boxes, ensure that the grounding conductors are properly spliced and connected to the grounding terminals of the devices. Remember, proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. When applying the cob finish, take care to avoid damaging the electrical wiring. Use a gentle touch and avoid applying excessive pressure. Ensure that the cob does not come into direct contact with the wire connections inside the J-box. If necessary, use a non-conductive barrier to protect the connections. Once the cob is dry, inspect the installation carefully. Check for any cracks or gaps in the cob around the J-box. Seal any openings with additional copper sealant to prevent moisture from entering. Test the electrical devices to ensure that they are functioning properly. Use a multimeter to verify that the voltage and amperage are within acceptable limits. If you encounter any problems, consult a qualified electrician. In addition to these practical tips, it's important to understand the relevant electrical codes and regulations. The NEC provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations in all types of buildings, including straw bale homes. Familiarize yourself with the applicable sections of the NEC and ensure that your installation complies with all requirements. Consult with your local building department to obtain any necessary permits and inspections. Working with electricity can be dangerous, so it's important to take all necessary precautions. If you're not comfortable performing any of these tasks yourself, hire a qualified electrician. A professional electrician can ensure that your electrical installation is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes and regulations. Keep in mind that straw bale construction presents unique challenges for electrical installations. The thickness of the walls and the use of natural materials require careful planning and execution. By following these guidelines and taking the necessary precautions, you can successfully install J-boxes in straw bale walls with cob finishes and create a safe and functional electrical system for your home. Also, keep detailed records of all electrical work performed, including wiring diagrams, J-box locations, and inspection reports. This documentation will be helpful for future maintenance and repairs. Store these records in a safe and accessible location. Consider using energy-efficient lighting and appliances to reduce your energy consumption and save money on your utility bills. LED lighting is a great option as it consumes significantly less energy than traditional incandescent bulbs. Look for appliances with the Energy Star label to ensure that they meet high standards for energy efficiency. Remember to properly insulate your straw bale walls to minimize heat loss and reduce your heating and cooling costs. Proper insulation is essential for creating a comfortable and energy-efficient home. Consult with a qualified building professional to determine the best insulation strategy for your specific climate and building design. When selecting electrical devices, choose high-quality products that are designed for long-term durability. Avoid using cheap or substandard devices, as they may not perform reliably and could pose a safety hazard. Invest in reputable brands that are known for their quality and performance. Regularly inspect your electrical system for any signs of damage or wear. Check for loose connections, frayed wires, and cracked insulation. If you notice any problems, have them repaired promptly by a qualified electrician. Preventative maintenance can help to prevent more serious electrical problems down the road. Consider installing surge protection devices to protect your electronic equipment from power surges. Surge protectors can help to prevent damage to your computers, televisions, and other sensitive electronic devices. Choose surge protectors that are rated for the voltage and amperage of your electrical system. If you plan to add any new electrical circuits or devices to your straw bale home, consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that your electrical system can handle the additional load. Overloading your electrical system can lead to overheating and potentially dangerous situations. A professional electrician can assess your electrical system and make recommendations for any necessary upgrades. When running electrical wiring through straw bale walls, avoid creating any sharp burns or kinks in the wires. Sharp bends can damage the insulation and reduce the current carrying capacity of the wires. Use gentle curves and avoid pulling the wires too tightly. Ensure that all electrical outlets and switches are properly grounded. Grounding provides a path for stray electrical current to flow back to the source, which helps to prevent electrical shocks. Test your outlets and switches regularly to ensure that they are properly grounded. When installing electrical fixtures near water sources, such as sinks or bathtubs, use ground fault circuit interrupter or GFCI outlets. GFCI outlets are designed to trip and shut off the power if they detect a ground fault, which can help to prevent electrical shocks. Use waterproof or weatherproof electrical boxes and fittings when installing electrical fixtures outdoors. Outdoor electrical fixtures are exposed to the elements, so it's important to use materials that can withstand moisture and corrosion. Consider installing a backup generator to provide power during power outages. A backup generator can keep your essential appliances running and prevent you from being without power during a storm or other emergency. Choose a generator that is sized appropriately for your electrical needs. Work with local professionals, electricians and contractors who are familiar with Bale construction techniques and the unique considerations for electrical and other systems that may be involved with the house build. Make sure they understand that it's not a traditional build and requires specialized knowledge to work on. This will minimize the potential for errors and reduce overall costs of the build as well. Remember, safety is always the top priority when working with electricity. Take your time, follow all safety precautions, and don't hesitate to consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. By following these guidelines, you can successfully install J-boxes and Bale walls with cob finishes and create a safe and functional electrical system for your home. The electrical work is best left to the professionals to avoid any liability.